Do I feel like I have some sort of public responsibility? No. This channel was literally supposed to just be me talking to myself, and I feel like Patrick and SpongeBob when he comes back to his rock, and there's all those eyes underneath it. Who are you people? Right now I've got a bunch of people telling me to run, eat chocolate turtles, right? Usually some combination of the two, or telling me I fell off. I didn't know I fell up to begin with. That would defy gravity in the first place. And I wouldn't want to rouse Isaac Newton by defying the gravity that he invented. So we'll just stay falling off. But seriously, do I feel like I have any obligation to cover any story or any obligation to talk about anything? No. And if you invest too much importance in my opinions or my words, then that's on you, because I'm just a dude talking about stuff who tries to be right. And if I'm not, you'll probably see me in the comments going, "Oh shit, I didn't know that." Right? And that's the part of the helpful conversation we're having. So I'm not covering this story out of some sort of misguided obligation that I'm out here trying to like aggressively make the world a better place or impose my, my thought process or views upon the world. But it's pretty well documented that I think racism is dumb. I think it's stupid. I think if you really want to insult these people where it hurts, because clearly if you're actually like racist or either consciously or subconsciously, and I find most of the time people that are racist are typically racist subconsciously. They aren't aware of the fact that they are being racist until somebody that, lives in a society where this sort of thing is not only not acceptable, but actively frowned upon. And I'll get to that later because I realize that might have just set some people off. That you have somebody pointed out like, hey, by the way, probably not cool. And then they just go, no, you just don't know how to have fun or something, right? There's weird responses in there, so I'll just call that subconscious racism, because they aren't going to like go to their LinkedIn and just put "I'm a fucking racist" like right across the top of it, right? That they're not those types of people. It's this kind of, oh no, it was a joke, types of reactions. You'll never guess what country this happened in a footballing sense. We are headed to Spain. You're damn right we're going to Spain. We're talking about racist stuff in football. And this time it has to do with Real Sociedad. So we are not talking about Vinny Jr. Although there have been multiple racist incidents in Spain that are currently being investigated right now. Alejandro Balde, who is the brilliant young fullback on Barcelona, put in a report about racist chants and things that were made in his direction and said he hoped La Liga was going to do something about it. But this actually does not have to do with that one. I just, figured I'd point out the fact that this literally isn't the only story like this going around right now. This is the Real Sociedad and a guy named Takefusa Kubo, who is one of the best players from Japan, if not the best player from Japan, former wonder kid in the Barcelona academy. He's been in Spain a long time. He's somebody that has been in Spain a long time and really has been a wonder kid, it feels like, forever. Somebody with a clear amount of flair and technical skill who puts it together a lot, but just not consistently enough to be a player for Real Madrid, which it looked like he might be for a little while, or for Barcelona, which it looked like he might be for a little while. So they're filming for their kind of mid-match video, right? Real Sociedad's playing at the... where are they? They're playing at the Mestalla. This is the home of Valencia, which is definitely one of the teams that seems to have a particularly rambunctiously racist home crowd. And they're warming up on the side while, I don't know if it's the admin or the media people or whatever for Real Sociedad are filming. And obviously the stuff is in Spanish, but of course it's pretty easy to translate. He's warming up on the side, and there's people in the crowd at the Mestalla. They are just yelling, "Chino, open your eyes," basically. Like they're one, he's Japanese. You inbred fucking idiots. Like I realize that's not the point. And the funny, the thing is that calling him Chinese is like part of the slander, right? They probably know he's Japanese. They just are trying to get after him anyways. And they're just yelling shit at him like, hey, open your eyes and stuff and all that crazy stuff. They also came after Ander Baranitsea, who was warming up on the touchline as well. And they were saying some crazy shit to him. And I don't really know what it means. Like at least the insult toward Takefusa Kubo, that's like good, clean, old-fashioned racism. Get it out of the game, stupid. Like I said, lacks creativity. Right? If you're going to try and insult somebody, you're going with the lowest hanging, debasing, amoral like fruit that you can find there. Come up with some creative insults. You know, look up his ex-girlfriend and then just say her name over and over again. You know, all's fair in love and war in sports, except racism. Find something else to use. I want to be clear, I'm all for yelling at dudes while they're warming up. I was one of those people at the University of Virginia in college basketball. I'm there. It's what makes sport. You should be able to, you know, I mean, you shouldn't be doing it in a way that is like debasing their humanity, right? But you should be able to go after people and try and mess with them, right? That is your right as a fan of a team. Just don't be fucking racist with it. It's not that hard. But back to the Ander Baranitsaya stuff. Ander Baranitsaya was like born in San Sebastian. Here's a video, by the way. They actually have it. So basically, watching this video, it sounds like it is one asshole, and that's an important. It's an important clarification to provide. Most Spanish people do not think this is okay. Most Valencia fans do not think this is okay. They do not encourage this. But there is one difference that I notice between, you know, sporting events or whatever in the United States and sporting events or whatever in Spain. Right. And there is a contrast within the United States as well. And this is all just personal experience and just firing from the hip. And the last person you want to hear about race relations from is some random ass white guy on the internet. Right. But in the United States, there are a lot of different types of people. Right. It is a country made up of people from basically all over the world. Right. And it is quite frequent that they don't get along. But there is mass exposure, particularly in more urban areas, to all different types of people. I live in New York. If I hop on the subway, I'm going to see people that look like they are from all over the world. And the more you are exposed to those different types of people, the more comfortable you become with the fact that we're all basically the same, right? And in countries like Spain, in my experience, there just is not nearly as much exposure to those different types of people. And what the exposure creates in the United States is if you are at any major sporting event and you are doing this, and this is just like, again, my theory, some random ass dude on the internet, you get shouted down instantly. You get a bunch of people telling you to shut the fuck up and booing you and whistling you and asking for you to be thrown out immediately. I know because that's happened before in the United States with consistency. Right, but what is striking to me about watching this video is this dude is standing here yelling this shit repeatedly, and you have clear audio. There's nothing happening. Nobody's doing anything. There is no reaction to this. Right? That's like that's the crucial difference that I think makes this sort of stuff in Spain, and at least Spain is bringing it to the forefront. The worst places, the ones you never hear about. I'm sure there's countries that have these sorts of issues where it doesn't come to light, but in Spain it is coming to light. But there isn't this kind of natural reaction to just shut that shit down. Because the United States has 3,000,001 problems. But if somebody, like, in the vast majority of communities in the United States, if somebody is being this openly racist just towards somebody, there are a lot of people that are there to just shut it down. There's a healthy amount of public chastising and public shame that goes into this kind of outward racist display. And it's not just in the United States. I mean, you see the same sort of thing in England when these sorts of things happen, right? And I'm sure in a lot of other countries, right? That it doesn't get broadcasted as much, but it gets shut down, right? Or in Germany or in France, right? Like there are shitty people and people that are subconsciously racist in every country. But the problem that's happening in these instances in France in Spain, in these particular stadiums, is that this guy can sit here for 30 seconds and just do this. I don't know, man. It's weird. It's sad. You just got to get it out of the game and come up with some more creative insults. I mean, you're just reaching for the worst, lowest hanging fruit that you can possibly reach for. And I hope that La Liga actually takes this in particularly an instance like this where it should be very obvious who this guy is, right? You take these types of people and just don't ever let them back in the stadiums again. Who gives a shit? This in particular, this is one guy. Just start banning people from stadiums, make an example of them, and you'll be able to solve this problem. If you're talking about solving the problem in society, that's a whole other issue. But at least in terms of making sure players aren't going to get racially abused while they're on a field, that one should be pretty easy to enforce.